analysis, or as I like to call it, right when the market opens analysis. Alright, so I do want to go over that trade that I called out last night, if anybody was awake for it. So what happened was we had come down into our balanced price range down here, and we had formed our Asia high, Asia low. We came down and we swept our Asia low, so I expected us to come back up and try to sweep Asia high, and I wanted to see if we would at least try to touch into that 5-minute SIBI. But again, I had my full TP here, but what happened with me is we hit 50 ticks right here, and I was still awake, so I decided to just take some profit. So I ended up selling half my position and then moved my stop to break even, and then I ended up getting stopped at break even, and then the price pumped all the way up to my full TP. But oh well, I still caught 50 ticks on that one, so I'm still happy. Got a little bit of buffer room today to start out with, which is always nice. Okay, so that was that trade I took last night. Pretty solid. Ended up hitting about over 114 ticks. All right, so let's start talking about our levels. Obviously, since then we have dropped very aggressively. If we look at our daily candle, we are filling this whole bullish fair value gap here. This whole daily bullish fair value gap. I would expect us to try to come down and touch into this daily volume gap with how much bullish momentum we've seen overnight after bouncing off this daily order block. Okay, so right now I would expect us to probably come back down into this volume gap, and then see what kind of reaction we get from there. A 4-hour time frame. We also have an imbalance down here on the 4-hour that we can see with the 4-hour order block down below, another target for price. Okay, if we look at the 1-hour, 1 hour here, something notable here, we see a bearish breaker on the 1 hour with this high, low, higher, high, and then we sweep the lows, right? So this would be a bearish breaker on the 1 hour. This block right here would be my breaker block here, so it would actually be an hourly unicorn, right? Because we have this fair value gap overlapping our breaker here on the 1 hour. Okay, so if price came back up to this level up here, I would be looking to short this, right? And I would be looking to short it all the way down to our volume gap, just depending on price action and how good price action is. Okay, so we have this 1 hour unicorn. Remember, high, low, higher, high, displacement of the lows, fair value gap left behind, overlapping that breaker. That is our unicorn setup, right? We could use that fib from that high to the low, and we could look at take profit levels. Look how that first standard deviation aligns perfectly with that 1 hour order block right here. Okay, so like let's say you wanted to take shorts overnight, right? Like after we swept Asia high, and you wanted to see where to take profit from that unicorn. This 1 hour right here with the standard deviation would be a great level to take profit. And then look how that next take profit level is right above that balance, or right above our daily volume gap, right? So our standard deviation levels kind of line up perfectly with where I would be taking profit on certain trades today if we get the opportunity. Okay, so we have that 1 hour unicorn, and on the 15-minute, Asia high is just above, or London high is just above Asia high, so I'm not going to try it out right now. London low is, about right here. Okay, so this is our London low. We've already swept it. So London low was here. We've obviously already displaced very strongly and came back down. Okay, right now I'm looking at the 5 and the 1 minute. We see all this accumulation here on NQ, right? All this chop. We see a pump up. Okay, so I want this to be that manipulation move. Okay, we can see it even better on the 1 minute. I want to see this be that manipulation move, right, where we see accumulation, manipulation, and then I want to see distribution back down to that daily volume gap. Okay, so I'm kind of waiting to see what type of reaction we get, how much price wants to head up. Okay, we just touched into this 15-minute fair value gap up here, but we also have, remember, our hourly unicorn. We have a 15-minute order block up top. I don't know necessarily if we're going to try to push up that high. So, you know, we might start to see a reaction honestly pretty soon. So that's why I'm kind of looking. That's why I'm kind of looking for, you know, we have that bearish structure. We form that bearish reversal pattern. We have sell side liquidity level target, where we have that sell side volume gap target. Okay, and then we set up this power of 3 at market open. So I want to see us see a little fake out, right? See this Judas swing at market open happen. But I still want to look for shorts ultimately, right, to come back down and target this volume gap. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now in terms of what trade I'm looking to take. Not too complicated, and obviously, you know, I'll adjust my plan as we go, but right now that's kind of the plan that I'm looking for. Obviously, we are displacing the highs right now and we're heading up, but again, we leave behind the sell side liquidity down here. Our structure overall in the day is bearish, and on a daily level, we see this volume gap right here, and to me that tells me we have a nice target after seeing a little swing high here. I want to see a little continuation to the downside, but we're going to see what price action does. Again, hopefully we see a better day today than we've seen the past 3 days. So far, it's looking like we're going to have some better price action than we have seen. Right, we actually saw an expansion move this morning down. So now I want to see that good price action continue so that we can catch a pretty, you know, an actual A+ setup with actual follow through. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. We're going to see what happens. Just going to continue to read price, you know, see if this bullish trend wants to continue. Almost just waiting for that reversal to happen. I'm just going to be patient, right? Going to be patient and see how far price wants to retrace up. Just want to see how far price wants to retrace up. YM is headed all the way up. I want to look at the VIX. VIX is dumping right now, but it's obviously been very, very bullish overnight. DXY here. DXY is dumping as well. So I'm just kind of waiting. Obviously, we look, you know, bullish at market open. We formed this little 1-minute bullish structure pattern. Let's look at our news today. So we do have a good amount of news. There's not anything too crazy until like 10 a.m. We have 10-year bond auction, which is an orange folder event. At 7 a.m. this is Pacific time, 7 a.m. Pacific. We've got a yellow folder at 7:30 a.m. Pacific. We've got crude oil inventories. At 8 a.m. Pacific, we've got FOMC member Jefferson speaking. And then at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, we've got another FOMC member Cook speaking. All right, so we've got some news coming out today. But I like that because now we're actually going to, you know, hopefully see some volume in the market and see some direction in this market. And not just the chop we've seen for the past 3 days. All right, I'm pretty much expecting, I want to see price come back down, right? But I'm just reacting and kind of waiting to see, is price going to continue to look bullish? Right? Are we going to continue to try to push through these sell side levels? Right? Or are we going to finally start displacing the lows and start heading back down if we're going to push through our buy side levels, or if we're going to head back down and try to grab sell side liquidity and touch into this volume gap on the daily time frame. So the premium on this range, we can look from this high to this low. Right here, this is that 15-minute range we see. The premium is right at this 15-minute order block, right at this 1 hour unicorn. That would be my ideal entry, would be up here in that 1 hour unicorn, right at this 15-minute order block. But again, price often does not, come that far up when we see this aggressive of a move down. So I'm expecting, a possible reaction before that happens. But that is a good, this is a good level for if price wants to continue up. That would be a good entry target up here. So I'm just going to continue to be patient here. Starting to look like we're trying to kind of push through these bearish levels. We'll see though. We will see what happens. No, I'm going to be ready to react. Like I said, when we see crazy trends like this, I don't often expect us to retrace all the way back to a premium. But right now we are still looking pretty bullish, so we might head back up. We're almost there already. So then what I would be looking for if we do come up to that level is I'd want to see a solid reaction off this 15-minute order block, off this 1 hour unicorn. Once I see that reaction, that's when I would be looking to take it short. If not, if we don't head up that far, what I would be waiting for is price to start to kind of displacing, maybe it displaces this order block here. Maybe it leaves behind a fair value gap after we're trying to break structure. With this power of 3, we're filling fair value gaps up top. So we'll see if we want to head up all the way up to a premium. Continue with this patience. On Forex Factory, we actually do see, I'm looking on Wednesday, May 8th, and it's showing me all of the final wholesales inventory, crude oil inventories, FOMC member, 10-year bond auction. So all the other stuff besides the bond auction is all yellow folder, which is low impact. But that bond auction, yeah, it's the only orange folder. There's no red folder today. Yeah, so I'm hoping to see, again, we're already starting off with some better price action than we've seen in this week, which is good to see. Right, it's good to see. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking for, to see how much of the gap are we going to fill. Right, are we going to try to fill this entire 15-minute gap here and touch off that order block? Right, or are we going to start to get a reaction off this gap right now? So that's kind of why I'm being patient, just waiting. Waiting. Remember, if we start to get that reversal, my target is this low here, and it's this volume gap down here. If we see a strong bounce off the hourly up here, this might be one of those trades where, yeah, I'll probably just swing it for a while, just hold it all the way from here down to this daily, to kind of take profit throughout. But that's pretty good, profit target, about 400 ticks there. But that's only if we see a very solid reaction and we see price really continuing back to the downside. Right now, obviously, we're still trending up. Still seeing a bullish push here. Okay, so just kind of waiting, just waiting. Right, I mean, you could try to long these moves here. Right, I'm not really looking to long these moves just yet. But every time we form one of those 1-minute order blocks and we retrace into it, you could always look to long those. And we form another order block after displacing, trace into it. Right, those are levels you could look to long. Try to catch it up to this level, up to that hourly, up to our 15-minute bearish order block. Right, I'm not really looking to long them just yet, or at all right now, just because I'm still expecting price to head back down, so I don't really want to, you know, hop in the longs and go against my bias right now. But I mean, yeah, longs have obviously been pumping, so that's just not kind of the mindset I came in with, was to do that, and also because I expected that there was, you know, we could bounce from any of these levels, right? We could bounce from this fair value gap, we could have bounced from this fair value gap. So, you know, I wasn't really looking to get in longs at that point when we're still in resistance. But yeah, we do have this. This is that level we're really looking at up here. Okay, we're pushing up into it now. So this is when I'd be looking for a reaction off this level. Would need to see it bounce off this level. Don't want to see strong push through. All right, you know, try to just keep my stop above the order block. But again, you know, just got to be patient, because if price just continues to push through with very aggressive momentum, you're not going to see me just try to hop in the shorts. But if we see, you know, an actual strong reaction off that level, you know, that's when I would be looking for shorts. So we have touched off that 15-minute order block, just barely. Just barely. I want to see a little more than that. I want to see us touch up into our hourly first. Okay, I want to see us touch up into our hourly. And again, we might not. What we might do is form this hourly down below, you know, hourly order block. And then price could pump on the next hourly candle into that unicorn and then dump, right? So that's a possibility. So I'm going to continue to be patient. Okay, but we are getting a bounce off VWAP here. Bounce off that 15-minute order block. Yeah, so I'm either going to be very aggressive on this move, to where right when I start seeing that bearish momentum step in after touching into that hourly, I might just get in that trade. Or yeah, I'll wait for some kind of displacement with retracement. Okay, so now we've entered into that hourly. We haven't entered into that fair value gap yet, but there we go. So now we're in it. All right, this is still very bearish or bullish right now. So you're not going to see me hop in just yet. But remember how we talked about actually seeing a reaction. You know, we might have to wait for this hourly candle to close. I'm just being patient here and waiting for it to see what kind of reaction we get. So a 15-minute bearish order block here. So right now we're just pushing through, right? We're not really seeing a lot of resistance here, so no reason for me to hop into a trade just yet. This has been a very strong bullish push. But we are now back in, we're in that unicorn. I would expect a reaction off of this level at some point. We're back into a premium of that range. We're touching off this 15-minute order block. Right, but this is too bullish right now for me to short it. I would need to really start seeing that reaction. Okay, I need to see that confirmation for this trade here. Like I always say, you're not going to see me enter a short position on a strong bullish candle. You're not going to see me enter a long position on a strong bearish candle. Once we start to show that weakness and we start to reject, you know, that's when I'm starting to look for those shorts. Okay, this one's tough. We are right above VWAP. right? In terms of this, we might need to wait for this hourly candle to close. You know, just depends on what kind of movement we get right now. Okay, what we don't want to do is we don't want to get caught trying to short from here, and we're just retracing to try to pump up further into that hourly unicorn, right? So you're not going to see me take a trade just yet. You know, that is a crazy wick back from that hourly imbalance. Okay, but I still do want to see these shorts come in. It's a pretty good reaction on that 15-minute time frame so far. All right, it would be nice to see a move down, you know, maybe close below VWAP. There's not a lot to displace here just because we've pumped so much. This is where you don't see me jumping in just yet, guys, because we still have this bullish structure, bullish momentum. We're right above VWAP. We still have this, you know, these fair value gaps that we formed. So I need to see very aggressive movement down for me to want to get in this move. Yeah, too bullish. Like we could, you know, I don't mind waiting another 7 minutes for this hourly candle to close. You know, because that hourly is kind of what we're looking at here, right? We're looking at this hourly candle to see how much we push into this unicorn and see if we get a reaction. Right now, this hourly is very bullish. Let's see here over on ES. We're in that level, but ES hasn't touched into that fair value gap just yet, which is another reason, excuse me, you might expect NQ to pump a little bit more because ES might try to get up into that level. But we can see how we're still getting a reaction off this level so far, right? We didn't just push right through it right away. We saw kind of that rejection. You know, obviously not much, just a little retracement. So just kind of waiting, right? And now, for me, if we were to come down and displace this 1 minute order block here, you know, then I'd wait for retracement back up, take it short. Just waiting for the good level to actually see these shorts come in, right? Because obviously we still look like we're trying to push up a little bit, but ultimately I do think these shorts have potential to step back in. You know, so let's see if we can come down and displace this 1 minute order block we just formed. Or if we're just going to see another reaction off of it. Struggling. We're seeing support here, looking like it's going to go. I'm still not going to try to long this because especially now that we're at the top and we're at my target entry level, we're in these strong resistance levels. You're not going to see me try to long this. Okay, what I would do, let's say we end up pushing right through this hourly, right? That's when I would start looking to, you know, start looking for longs after a retracement move. All right, but you're not going to see me long while we're in this strong resistance level. We're in a 1 hour unicorn. All right, not going to look too long. We've got about 4 minutes left until we see this hourly close. Okay, we're pushing up to that 0.5 EQ of this hourly time frame, unicorn. Yeah, we have news at 10. It's yellow folder. It's final wholesale inventories. Shouldn't have too much of an impact on us. Continue to push through. Oh, I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't expecting this aggressive of a push today. You know, I was expecting some retracement, but I did not, you know, I didn't expect us to really try to push all the way this aggressive. All right, but as long as we're respecting this 50% here, we're seeing rejection. To me, it still looks good. Let's see, we just grabbed some liquidity above. Grab some liquidity. I want to see us try to head back down. That's just not my style, Sid. That's not really what I was looking to do this morning. Right? So, first of all, I don't like to chase price. Second of all, I've been waiting for the short setup. So, yeah, I mean, good for him. Good trade. Right, but I'm not going to go against my plan right now. Like I said, once I see my levels disrespected, you know, that's when I'm starting to change. That's when I start to change my plan. So we've got about 2 minutes left on this hourly candle. I want to see how this 15-minute closes, and I want to see how this hourly closes. I would love for this 15-minute to continue to respect this order block here. Close below after sweeping liquidity. You know, that looks like a nice candle there. Looks like shorts want to start to step in here. We'll see. If we displace, you know, one of these order blocks and retrace, that's when I'm looking for shorts. You know, we still obviously have a minute and a half until this hourly closes. Probably best to wait for that hourly. Right, because the hourly could start off by kind of pumping a little bit and then dumping. So we'll see. Alright, but this is one of those trades where I'm looking for a large reward on, right? Looking to really hold this one. Alright, we got 1 minute left here. 1 minute left. We're starting to see that rejection. See that 15-minute rejection off the order block after sweeping liquidity. Let's see. SMT on 5-minute highs. Yes, we did get big SMT. And look how ES is down here at VWAP. Right, so I'm starting to see the things I want to see. Now it's just waiting for this hourly to close. Waiting for this 15-minute to close. Kind of see how we close. You know, we don't have to respect this 15-minute order block. We did touch up into that 15-minute fair value gap up there. I just want to see us, you know, I like that little bounce we've seen on that hourly time frame. Alright, hourly close. So we did disrespect the 15-minute order block, which I don't love to see. We didn't displace these highs though. But I still need to wait for, you know, if this is gonna go down, I need to see displacement because we're still keeping this bullish trend so far. We're still keeping this bullish trend. Right, and if we continue to push through, that's when I'll start, you know, changing my plan and start looking for longs. Right, but as long as we're staying in this level and we see any kind of rejection here, you know, that's when I'll get in the shorts. But for now, you know, I'm just gonna wait. Let's see, ES still failed to take out that high. We're in the 15-minute fair value gap here. Just waiting patiently. Waiting patiently. Because here's the deal, guys. I'm definitely willing to wait on this one because of, you know, the reward. Even if we got an entry all the way at the bottom, I'm looking to hold this at least to these lows down here for, you know, 300 plus ticks. Right, so I'm very willing to to wait for this one. And if my plan doesn't come to fruition, then I'm gonna, you know, I'll start looking for something different. All right, I'll start looking for something different. Okay, nice rejection here off this 15-minute order block or fair value gap again. Just got to see some follow through, see some break of structure to the downside. We still have that SMT. ES failed to take out this high while NQ swept that high. Okay, we're starting to see that little bit of momentum step in. So I'm just waiting for a break of structure for us to sweep this low, disrespect it. Right, and then once we do that, I'll wait for a slight retracement move and I'll hop in the shorts. So let's see. I mean, these little 1-minute order blocks have been acting as strong support so far. As you can see, we keep bouncing from them. We keep seeing a bounce from those levels. Okay, guys, I'm looking for that displacement of this order block right here, possibly of all of these order blocks. Yeah, we've got pretty different styles. You know, I don't take very many trades, and that's the way I trade. I'd rather wait for one amazing setup in the entire day and take that, right, than take a bunch of different trades. But everybody has a different style, right? That's his style, and it works for him. Like I always say, that's why I always try to offer different trade opportunities and kind of talk about different styles, because we all do have different styles, right? I've found that this one works for me. It aligns with my personality, with my temperament, right? With how I like to trade. Other people, you know, like to trade differently. Okay, we're still bouncing. All right, like I said, I'll start looking for longs if we really start pushing through, you know, the highs here. If we really start pushing through this imbalance and pushing through this hourly breaker, you know, that's when I'll start looking for longs. Besides that, I'm still thinking short. Yeah, I think that's just important. You know, we as traders have to figure out what kind of trader we are. Who are we? Because if we keep going against like our personality, then you're not going to see a lot of success, right? If you're kind of someone that needs to be calm, relaxed, have, you know, kind of chill out, then you're probably not going to be able to, you're not going to want to have a trading style that's way more aggressive and, you know, taking big risks, right? But if that is your personality and you like to take risks and you're more of an aggressive person, right, then you might want to trade like that, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because as long as you're being good with your risk management, it should not matter. right? You'll find that style. When you keep trading, you'll find that style, but no strategy is going to work for you if you can't manage your risk. So that's, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's important. And handle your emotions. Okay, now, I mean, we're just kind of slowly moving up here. Like I said, if we see an aggressive push through our hourly level, our hourly bearish breaker, that's when I'm going to start looking for longs, you know, and then start potentially taking them up to our Asia high. Okay, but as long as we're staying in this level, I'm still waiting for those shorts to set up. I mean, no guys, absolutely no hate or any. I love Danny, guys, and Danny's a great trader, right? And that's his style. So, you know, that's why I always say find what works for you. And Danny has found that aggressive style works for him, right? I found that didn't work for me, so I found my own style. I'm gonna keep waiting here, guys. We're seeing that like price has not really aggressively tried to push through this level so far. Hey, Pulenta, I'm gonna delete that message, but if you don't mind, just say I fricked that account. Trying to keep cussing off. You could say, just say I you're good, dude. Just say I fricked 4 of my accounts. Flipped it. I flipped it. Thanks for your understanding. You know, because then you let one thing slide, and then people start going overboard and. Yeah, it's so true. Once you start blowing accounts, then you're like, okay, what am I doing here? At least some people, right? Some people don't really learn that for a long time. But once you start blowing those accounts, you're like, man, I need to relax. I need to kind of calm down and figure out my style and just, you know, be patient. So, I mean, guys, we're seeing chop right now. I'm just waiting for that reaction, for that drop, waiting for it. Okay. All right, we're starting to see price try to kind of push through these levels. But it's just moving so slow. I want to see an aggressive displacement move. All right, let's say we were to enter shorts right now. It's hard because look how much we're moving on these 1 minute candles, right? Because then if I got an entry now, my stop has to be like right here, right? Which, yeah, it's above this little 1 minute order block, but still not amazing. But we're looking like we're starting to want to head down. All right, we haven't gotten displacement yet, but it looks like we're trying to head down here. You know, this little 1 minute order block we just formed could be an entry. It's a very aggressive entry. So I don't know if I necessarily want to take it just yet, but you know, this 1 minute entry could be decent. But it is very aggressive. We haven't seen any displacement yet, so just want to be patient here. We can see this is why I haven't gotten an entry, right? Because we haven't gotten that displacement move just yet. The 1 hour is starting to look good though. The 1 hour is starting to look good. But we just got to see actual displacement. Because again, if we push up through this high and we displace this order block, like we might use that order block as support and try to push through all of these resistance levels. But as long as we can stay below and we can start to displace these lows, I do think shorts will come in. Just very choppy right now. Sid, I'm gonna have to delete that message. If you can resend that without the F word, I would appreciate it. But basically the question was, how many accounts do you need to flip, as in blow? And I didn't see the last part. Was that to start seeing success? Until it hurts enough. I mean, pretty much, guys. It's not. There's no set specific number of accounts. It's really until you start to actually realize that you need to stop gambling your money away, right, and really focus on having the right trading habits and having the right risk management habits. Okay, here we go. We're starting to see displacement, right? If we see a strong 1 minute displacement candle here, you still said the F word there. I'm gonna have to delete that again. You're good. All right, there's that drop. You're all good, dude. Don't stress it. We're finally seeing that 1 minute displacement here, guys. This is what I've been waiting for. Okay, now if we can, leave behind this fair value gap, or we were chased up into this order block up here, I'll start looking for a short position. We're obviously still above VWAP, but I do like that ES has been heading down. I do want to give these a shot. I do want to give the shorts a shot. Man, it's running away from me. We'll see what happens. I'm still not in a rush to hop in. I still want to wait for the right entry. Yeah, exactly. Omar said it, right? How fast can you learn from your own mistakes, right? It's going to be different for everybody. There's no specific amount of counts, right? Everybody has to go through it in a different way. It's really until you have that realization that you're like, what am I doing? I'm just throwing away my money, right? Because I'm not managing my risk. I'm just gambling my accounts. I'm over leveraging. You're like, until you can take it seriously, until you find what your purpose is in trading, right? No, I'm not in yet. I'm waiting for that entry. Right, and that's why I always talk about what is your purpose for trading. And once you can figure out what your purpose is, then that's going to kind of help you keep accountability for when you start to go on that tilt and you start to make mistakes. You're going to be like, well, man, I wanted to use this trading as a way to have sufficient income for me or for me and my family. And now I'm just gambling that away because I'm not taking it serious enough, right? So that's the way I look at it. I feel like when you have that purpose, you start taking it a little more seriously. Okay, so I'm looking for an entry off this 1 minute order block up here. I want to see us touch off of it. 1 minute fair value gap as well. Not entering just yet. We haven't entered just yet. So it's gonna be difficult here, guys. We're really gonna have to push through this balanced price range. All of this is a balanced price range, so we're gonna need to push through. But look how we are respecting that equilibrium exactly. We got constant encroachment perfectly of this level, of that 1 hour. Okay, so I'm waiting for us to touch up into this 1 minute fair value gap here, and then see a little reaction. See a reaction here. We're in that fair value gap now. Alright. I'm going to test out the shorts with half a lot here. All right, so my entry is at 18,160.25. I'm just testing them out. I'm going to keep a stop at 50 ticks at 18,172.75. All right, so just kind of seeing if they want to come in right now. All right, see if this is going to still act as a resistance level, and we're going to try to start heading down. A good target, honestly, for us. It's not many ticks. We could try to target. We're obviously kind of pushing through right now. Like I said, I'm just testing it out with half a lot. We're not seeing any kind of rejection to the downside yet. Yeah, we're just pushing right through. We're pushing right through. All right, like I said, I will start thinking about longs if we come up and displace this order block up top. All right, on the 15-minute. But we'll see what happens here. You know, I've got my stop loss. We're very close to my stop here. That's a pretty strong bullish candle. We disrespected this 1 minute. We'll see what happens. All right, this is why I entered with half a lot, right? I didn't go full position. Just testing it out. We see ES is kind of bouncing off that 5-minute bullish fair value gap. We'll see. If we start to drop aggressively again, that's when I would add into a full. But not until that happens. Okay, we're just a little bit down right now. We're down about 20 ticks right now. See, it looks like we're trying to come up and take out my stop here. All right, but this was just that first trade, that test, trying to see if that breakout was going to happen. We got displacement, fair value gap left behind. And now we're trying to come up and target my stop loss up here. So we'll see. We're still in this trade, but we are only a few ticks away from my stop. All right, so I just got stopped there. So we're really pumping through. Let's look at something I'm going to keep my eye on now is this 5 and 15-minute. Okay, if this 5-minute does end up coming up and displacing this order block, that's when I'll start looking for longs, right? I would start looking for longs if we come up and displace this high. As long as we're staying below, I'm still, you know, shorts are still valid for me, but right now it really looks like we're trying to kind of push through. So we'll see. We'll see. One loss, half a lot. I had some buffer room already, right, with that win I took last night. So we've got about 1 minute left on this 5-minute candle. All right, I also want to see if this 5-minute is going to kind of try to come up and displace this 5-minute order block here, or if we're just going to head back down. Just going to continue to be patient here, waiting for that next setup. Right. And I hope you guys understand when I talk about going in half a lot and full a lot, why I go in them. Right, why I didn't go into a full lot on this trade, right? And it's because we haven't seen a full market structure shift, right? I'm playing off this 1 minute level, okay? So you're not going to see me go into a full position until I have a lot more confluence or I see that momentum stepping in, right? Because that's how we manage our risk. If you go into a full position every single trade, like as your first entry, and you lose 2 or 3 in a row, you're not gonna be able to trade anymore, right? But if you go into half a position and say you do lose 2 or 3, you can still have a chance to keep trading, right? And you give yourself some more room until you do hit that your daily loss limit, or you'll be able to actually make a comeback. So now we're starting to push through this order block. Let's see, we still closed below. We didn't displace it just yet. But this bullish momentum continues here. Right, so like I said, I'm going to continue to be patient. This next 5-minute candle closes above and we displace this order block, I'll probably start looking to take it long, you know, off a retracement off this order block. All right, because then that would show me that we're trying to really push through this hourly bearish breaker. So yeah, I'm going to continue to be patient here. Just wait for the next setup that I want to take. And we will see. Okay, so last night, if you guys weren't on when I was talking about the trade I took last night, I ended up catching 50 ticks, sold half a lot at 50, and then I ended up getting stopped at break even. Right, so now I just took one 50 tick loss with half a lot, so now I'm back at break even. Right, so now I'm back at break even. Okay, we're really seeing that push now. We're showing displacement to the upside. Now it looks to me like we're going to continue to try to push through this hourly and probably maybe head up for some of our buy side levels. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I wasn't expecting this aggressive of a push today. But we're seeing it, and now we have to react and, you know, readjust our plan. Readjust our plan. So I'm really just waiting for this 5-minute candle to close. You know, because if we do close, displacement candle, you know, we could catch a solid long all the way up to our Asia London high. You know, maybe we don't have to necessarily wait for 5-minute displacement. We could always just wait for, you know, 1 minute fair value gap retracement, 1 minute order block retracement, and then jump in. Right, but I'm not going to keep chasing. Obviously, this one didn't work out here. I'm not going to chase the longs up here. I'm going to wait for a clear level, right, that I really want to take long. All right, so we got about a minute and 20 seconds left on the 5-minute candle. You know, we keep pumping. We're not really offering any entry opportunities over here just yet. No entry opportunities for me just yet. Just kind of waiting. All right, we do have this little 1 minute fair value gap here. All right, but we're not really seeing much retracement so far. So we have this 1 minute. Not my favorite level because it still is at the top of this range. But again, on strong breakout moves, we often just kind of retrace to that first level of support, that first imbalance, that first order block, and we see a bounce off of it. All right, so like I said, this is a strong 5-minute displacement candle. We're about to close. 15 minutes forming a strong displacement candle as well. All right, so 5-minute closed, strong displacement. Now I'm just waiting for a retracement. Right, so this is when my plan changes, because now we're seeing. Now that's the confirmation I need to see for, you know, for me to want to take the longs now. Right, but now I have to wait for that entry. I'm not going to force a trade and chase the longs just for it to come back and retrace back to that level I was looking to long from before. I'm going to continue with this patience. And I'm not going to have FOMO if price runs on me, right? If price runs away from me and I don't get an entry opportunity, I won't have FOMO. Okay, we have this 1 minute order block we just formed. We could see a bounce off this order block. Right, that's an entry you could take if you want to take these longs. You could take this entry right here off this 1 minute order block. Right, you're just not offered with too much reward on this one. Right, if you're trying to catch it up to this high, the risk to reward on this one isn't very good. Right, it's kind of at the top of that range, so I don't necessarily want to take that. I want to wait for some retracement. Right, but we could very easily pop from this level. Right, those little 1 minute order blocks, fair value gaps that form after a breakout often act as strong support. But we were all the way at the top of this range. We just swept some liquidity. I'm going to be patient here. I mean, ultimate, we could just take it out at the highs up here. We could also hold it into that 5 minute SIBI that we had from yesterday. You know, or continue to hold and see if we're going to take out our highs all the way up here. Okay, if we do start to see a strong bounce from this 1 minute, I'll start looking to take it long. Right, if we see a strong bounce, I'll start looking to take it long. But I also want to make sure that we're seeing that reaction, that we're going to get that continuation. Okay, we are seeing a bounce. Okay, I just got an entry, just half a lot, and it's not the best entry again. But I am seeing that reaction off this order block. Now I want to see if we're going to get that continuation up. All right, so my entry is 18,201, so it's pretty high up here. Okay, good start so far. I'm going to keep my stop just below 40 ticks, just half a lot, 40 ticks, just to see, you know, just in case we do see that retracement come into play. So my stop's going to be at 91. I'm only in half a lot again. I have not added to a full. We're not seeing that follow through just yet. Again, if we do come up to this high, you know, maybe I'll just look to scalp half a lot. You know, kind of a quicker trade. Not anything too crazy. Maybe up to that 5 minute. We'll see. Good start so far. I still have not added into a full. I don't want to add up into a full up here and make my entry all the way up top, right? That would not be a very good entry. Okay, we're about to close on this hourly candle. On this 15-minute candle. We do have a 15-minute order block that we're going to have to push through. Alright, so I'm going to need to see this order block continue to act as strong support for that continuation. Alright, so I'm just holding half a lot. You know, I might just scalp it, you know, or take profit at the top. Oh, what the heck? Well, that, I just made an error, but it ended up working in my favor so far. I just got in more contracts than I wanted to. I double clicked, okay. I don't know why. I might get rid of a few. I'm just gonna get rid of why is it doing that here? And now it just took me out of my position completely when I single clicked. Okay, well, I'm gonna look for a re-entry now. I don't know why it just did that. You guys can keep holding this if you want. For some reason, my trade evade just bugged out and it double clicked on both times when I single clicked it. Okay, well, so I just got out when I didn't want to. But if you guys want to keep holding this trade, you can keep holding this trade. I might look for a re-entry. I'll probably look for a re-entry if we can get some more retracement. I don't know why that just happened. But strong displacement to the upside. So this is still a good looking trade here. Still a very good looking trade. I wish I was still holding it, but yeah, I don't know why I did that. Again, you could take a 1-to-1 if you are holding this. You know, our stops only have 40 ticks, so you could take a 1-to-1. We already hit it. You could hold it up to this high. I personally was going to hold it up to at least Asia high, maybe up to this high. It's a London high for my first TP. But you could always just, you know, you could always take TP at that first one. I'm at that 1-to-1 at 40 ticks. So far, it's been a pretty solid trade. I mean, we've hit 40 ticks on it. We still look like we're going to continue. You know, I wish I was in this trade still, but Trader8 was not my friend today. Was not my friend during that trade. Again, we're getting closer to those highs, so if you want to, you know, look to start taking first TP, we just hit 50 ticks. You could take that first TP at 50 ticks and move your stop to break even. You could keep holding up to Asia high, or again, you could hold up to London high. It's about 63 ticks at London high, but we've already hit more than a 1-to-1. So if you want to take that first TP, you could take that first TP and move your stop to break even. Okay, for me now, a re-entry doesn't make sense up here. I know we keep bouncing off the, you know, this 1-minute order block, but I'm not going to get a re-entry up here at the top, right? I would wait for retracement and then another bounce to get a re-entry. Yeah, it's a strong retracement move. I don't know. Did any of you guys take profit, move your stop to break even? Are you guys still holding this one? So far, the trade hit 51 ticks. Okay, still holding. Like I said, this trade still has a lot of potential, but we are seeing how we are rejecting a little bit off that 15-minute bearish order block. We are seeing that rejection off that 15-minute bearish order block right now. But we got strong displacement to the upside, right? Our 15 and 5-minute candles closed above this high. That is strong displacement, but right now we're seeing that rejection off that order block. So if we start to bounce again, though, I will look for a re-entry in the longs. Just kind of being patient here. Yeah, I don't like that rejection we're getting on the 15 and 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, I only sold at like 15 ticks or something. I didn't mean to. All right, but we see that rejection we're getting here. So we'll see. We're back to where I was at break even, right? We're back to my break even from when I got in. If we start to see another bounce, you know, I'll look for longs again, but I'm just kind of waiting because of this structure here on that 5 and the 15-minute. I do want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. Because, yeah, I mean, we are in silver bullet. We did grab liquidity. But again, we displaced the highs. We didn't just go up and grab liquidity. We completely displaced them. Which is why I still think longs could come in, because we still have our Asia and London high that we're very close to. Okay, I just kind of want to see how this 5-minute candle closes here. You know, see if we're going to kind of come down and target this fair value gap down here, or if we're just going to form a 5-minute order block and then pump right through it again. Okay, patience, patience, patience here. See, we're bouncing off that order block again. See how this 5-minute closes. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. We might come down into this 5-minute bullish fair value gap down here. But also, on these strong displacement moves, sometimes we don't even go down and retrace into those. Sometimes we just form these order blocks and then just pump right past them. Right now, ES is going down to that 5-minute. We're seeing ES go down to this 5-minute fair value gap, so we might see NQ do the same. Okay, we're seeing NQ come down. We just touched into that 5-minute. Alright, so this is when I'll start looking for a re-entry here. I just want to see a strong reaction. Strong reaction here. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay, we're seeing that reaction now. I'm going to get in the longs one more time here. Half a lot again. Half a lot. Just seeing that reaction on the 5 minute off that fair value gap. 18,199.50 is my entry. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just keep a stop. About 40 ticks again, just down here. Don't want to risk too much on this. 18,189.50. Still in half a lot. Okay, I'll let you know if I add into a full. Okay, because we still could retrace a little bit more into that 5 minute. But I like that reaction. Right when we touched into it, we bounced very aggressively. So I just want to see if we get that follow through. All right, we've got strong displacement. Okay, so just half a lot right now. 40 tick stop. Look to take first TP at this high, up at Asia high. We'll see, we haven't displaced any lows. So I'm kind of liking this setup here. If we start to pump, I'll add into a full. Just waiting, 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 waiting. Okay, but like I said, this 5 minute order block, we come down, we touch into that fair value gap right below the order block. Right, on strong displacement breakout moves, that's that setup that I look for. Just gotta have patience. Not gonna add into a full until I actually see that full confirmation. I gotta see that momentum start to step into the longs for me to add into a full position. Okay, we still have 2 minutes left on that 5 minute candle. Again, I'm liking this reaction here. Alright, I'm going to add into a full here. I'm going to add into a full. So my entry is now at 18,275. Right, I'm going to move my stop up to 40 ticks again, so 18,190.75. Right, and if we can see that follow through, like I said, this 5 minute looks great. And if we can try to pump through, right, I'll look to take first TP at Asia high, about 60 ticks, about 59 ticks. 18,215.50 would be that first TP level I'm looking to take. But we're not seeing that follow through just yet. We still have 1 minute left on that 5 minute candle here. But I love that reaction we're seeing off the 5 minute fair value gap down below. Now I just want to see us try to push through this order block. We'll see here. I only have a 40 tick stop, so I'm not giving myself too much room. I don't want to risk too much on this one, but I like that ES bounce from the 5 minute as well. Okay, so if we do, break this high, first TP there, and maybe look to take full TP up here when we enter that 5 minute SIBI that we had from yesterday. Okay, we just got to see that momentum step in now and see those longs really want to, really push. All right, so my confirmations on this trade are strong 5 and 15 minute displacement of these highs. We form an order block, we form a fair value gap below that order block, we touch into it, we see a strong reaction off of that fair value gap. Now I want to see price push through that order block. Okay, so our resistance here, what we're going to have to push through is this 15 minute bearish order block up top. We're going to have to see us push through. Because this 15 minute, we still have that fair value gap down below on the 15 minute. So far, we're not really looking to push through. We're just kind of chopping again, like pretty much every trade I get into. In the past 3 days, we just chop right after I get into it. Well, let's see if we can get that follow through here. Just gotta let this one run. Let this one run here. So that first TP right now is that Asia high for me. There we go. We're starting to move. You could also take first TP at the break of this high. There we go. We're starting to pump. You could take first TP now if you want. Right, we've hit 49 ticks. So we've hit more than a 1-to-1. I'm going to hold up to Asia high for my first TP. You know, maybe I'll even just move my stop to break even at this point. I'm just going to move my stop to break even, make this a risk-free trade, and wait and see if we're going to hit that TP. Alright, so stops at break even. We're almost 50 ticks in profit, or we just hit 50 ticks in profit. There we go. Alright, we're almost at my TP here. Again, you could take that first TP at this high. You don't have to hold up to Asia high. My stop's at break even now, so I'm willing to let this one go, hit my first TP. Alright, first TP just got hit. Keeping my stop at break even for now. My stop's going to be at break even. Actually, I'm going to move it into profit just a little bit. I'm going to move it up to 18,203.75. So just below this fair value gap. Okay, so that's going to be my stop loss. So we'll see. We could keep running, guys. This one could keep running. That's why I'm letting this one go. Again, we could take full TP at 83 ticks up here. I'll continue to move my stop up as we continue to pump. If we continue to see strong displacement, right, I'll just start moving my stop up a little bit, trailing it. So far, so good. 75 ticks have hit. Pretty good trade so far. Pretty good trade so far. I'm going to let this one keep running. You could take full TP if you want. You could take full TP at this high up here. You know, we have swept some highs. We do have this 15-minute imbalance. Right, strong resistance up here. Could be a liquidity grab, right? So we, you know, if you want to be careful. For me, I just want to see how far this one is going to run. All right, the 15-minute is about to close. If we get displacement here on the 15-minute of this order block, I'm going to keep letting this one go. All right, again, we're almost at that full TP if you want to take it. I'm going to let this one run for a little bit. You know, you can move your stop into profit. We have about a minute left on our 15-minute candle. I'm just kind of waiting to see if we displace. Or a 5-minute, I want to see 5-minute displacement of this order block. 15-minute displacement of these highs. Right, and then I think we'll really keep pumping. You know, we could keep going. You know, but we do have a lot of resistance up top. So again, we could get out fully here. We just hit that full TP level I talked about. You know, I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it for now because we could come back down, retrace into this fair value gap, and then pump again. That's why I'm keeping my stop just below that fair value gap for now. Okay, but this 5 minutes about to close, 15 minutes about to close. I want to see if we're going to displace. I want to see that displacement up here. About 7 seconds left here. All right, we got strong displacement. Strong displacement. Yeah, we can keep letting this run. Well, it just did it to me again, where I tried to take out a runner, and it just took out my position. So I'm completely out, guys. I don't know what's been going on with Tradovate. Tradovate's been bugging out on me today. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart it. But again, if you guys want to keep holding this, we got that displacement, and this one could definitely keep running. You could keep this one running. You could take full TP. I didn't mean to, but I took it, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it, right? I'm not mad. I was about to say, all right, guys, you know, I'm going to take out, I literally was like, all right, I'm taking out a runner. I'm about to say it, and then it just took me out. And I was like, oh, well, I'm out. So I sound mad. I mean, yeah, I do think this one has potential to keep running. So I was, you know, because I wanted to see how much this one would run. But again, I took full TP at like how many ticks? 80 ticks, so I'm not too upset. I'm not too upset. But yeah, guys, like I said, if you want to keep holding this one, you know, maybe move your stop into profit. This could be one of those trades that just keeps running, you know, all the way up to our liquidity up here, right? If it's going to be that strong, it could push up all the way to here. Don't know if we're going to see that much momentum continue to step in after taking liquidity up top. Okay, so I'm out. You know, at least have your stop a little bit into profit at this point is what I would say. That's what I would say. But look at that. 15-minute candle displaces these highs here. 5-minute candle displaces the order block. So another entry could be this 5-minute order block, right? If we leave behind this fair value gap overlapping an order block, that could be another long entry that I honestly might look to take. I might look to take it. Do we have a breaker at 18-230s? Let's find out. We do indeed. Oh yeah, this is that breaker from yesterday, right? This is that breaker from yesterday. So we had this high, low, higher, high. 5-minute time frame. Right, could be another good TP level. 5-minute bearish breaker. I think it's actually a 5-minute unicorn here. It is a 5-minute unicorn because we have that fair value gap overlapping, right? So if we do touch up into this, I would definitely think about, you know, maybe taking some more profit out. Maybe, you know, trailing that stop into profit a little more. But I mean, so far, guys, this trade has hit a lot of ticks. A lot of ticks. 110 ticks, 109 ticks. And this is why I always talk about, guys, this is how we adjust our plan. Okay, I was thinking short. Shorts did not come into play. Found a good long opportunity. We took that long opportunity, and we still get to benefit from it, right? Look at that pump. No FOMO, no FOMO. I'm trying not to have FOMO here, guys. 151 ticks. Trying not to have FOMO. Try not to have FOMO. We are pumping so aggressively. Like I said, if we pump through this 5-minute unicorn breaker, we will probably head up for these highs up top, right, for like 250 ticks. Right, that 5-minute is what I was looking for. You know, we got strong displacement again here on this 5-minute. Right, if we retrace back down into this 5-minute fair value gap order block, I'll probably look for another re-entry in the longs. Yeah, look at that 4-hour. That's crazy. Crazy pump. That's nice right there. We're so back. Yes, sir. We are back. We had an off day. We had an off day yesterday, but we still finished break even, so it's pretty nice when our off day is a break even day for our, you know, for our morning session. So yeah, we're seeing a rejection on that 5-minute. On this 5-minute unicorn. So we just closed in the 5. We closed below the EQ of that 5-minute unicorn. Let's see where that fair value gap ends. It looks like we might have displaced. We displaced the fair value gap. Okay, so that 5-minute fair value gap has been displaced. Like I said, I've just been waiting for good price action to come back into this market. We've just been waiting, right? The past 3 days were just terrible price action. Okay, but we did pretty good with our risk management with that bad price action. And I mean, even on Monday, we still got a win on Monday in our morning session. Right, so still pretty solid on the week. Again, yeah, so this trade so far, has hit 166 ticks. 166 ticks at the top. Nice. Let's go. You went from thinking your account was blown to making 3,400. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. Again, yeah, so that re-entry I would look for. Obviously, we're seeing a rejection off this 5-minute bearish breaker, but I do think with all this bullish momentum, especially looking at the daily time frame, gosh, my charts are all over the place here. Got a lot of stuff here, but on this daily time frame, we look extremely bullish, and we look like we're trying to go target some highs. We look like we're trying to target yesterday's high, so I could still see these long stepping in, so I might look for a re-entry down on this 5-minute fair value gap here if we see a reaction. 5-minute order block fair value gap. Look at that! Look at that ES pump as well. Crazy. Yeah, so pretty good session so far, guys. All right, that's why risk management is so key. Ended up, right? So I made last night, made some money, right? Was up about 50 ticks with half a lot. This morning, we take a loss with 50 ticks, half a lot, right? So I'm back to break even. And then we take this winner, and now we're back into profit, and I caught 80 ticks in profit, right? So pretty good day. Pretty good day. And some of you guys have caught 160 ticks or 150. Right, so some of you guys are really eating right now. If I was in this trade still, I might still be holding it, honestly, with my stop pretty far into profit. You know, I would probably have my stop below this order block, honestly, or below this order block. I would have, you know, I would only have a little bit, probably one runner left. Or I would have taken my full TP up here, just because we're seeing that rejection off of that 5-minute breaker. Yeah, and you know, we can't, it's annoying when you're like, I wish I took this full, but at the end of the day, if you thought that every time, just imagine when you get stopped out in a full every time, then you're going to be like, I wish I was in half a con, right? Or half a full position. So you got to take your winners when you get them. You know, a win is a win. No regrets. Yeah, Tradeovate glitched so hard on me today. I mean, that happened twice. That double click happened twice. So, I mean, kind of annoying, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, for real. Nancy Pelosi was like, no, I don't want Trader Joe making any more money. We got to cap this guy. She's like, I'm the only one that's allowed to make money. Yeah, so Kava, that's actually something that I do sometimes where I don't do it often, but if I really think that that expansion move's about to go crazy, then sometimes if I want to be a little risky, right, I'll add on to double my position or an extra, you know, maybe 25% more of my full position, and I'll just move my stop to break even and then just, you know, let it ride. The issue with that is sometimes when we do that, our break even ends up moving really high, and then we end up, price will sometimes come down, retrace, hit your break even, hit your stop, and then do that pump, whereas if you would have just kept your normal position in, that never would have stopped you out. So that's kind of the hard part about doing that, but I do sometimes do that depending on the trade. Okay, so we just form a little fair value gap under this order block, right? Could be another decent entry. I don't know if I'm going to take it necessarily. I would have to see a lot of confirmation because we are bouncing off this 5-minute bearish breaker. Right, so, you know, I don't think I would take this long just yet. Yeah, exactly. That's the risk we assume, 100%. If that's the risk you're willing to take, then you can take it. Okay, yeah, we're starting to drop from that 5-minute level pretty hard here. You can see our 15-minute is dropping as well. You know, we got that reaction off that 15-minute order block up top. So we're starting to see that rejection. Again, I don't want to, you know, risk my profits right now. I'll probably just kind of let this be. And walk away. You know, I don't know if I want to really take another trade here. Yeah, I mean, 80 tick win there, pretty solid. I'm good with that. I'm good to run with my profits. You know, don't feel the need to keep trading, right? I don't feel the need to keep trading. I feel content with my profits, feel content with my trading today. Yeah, feeling pretty good about it, right? Pretty good trade. You know, I was just waiting for this price action to get better, and we finally saw a day with good price action and we capitalized on it. I mean, if we notice the past 2 weeks, or this is our 3rd week now of this Discord, we haven't really had many losing days at all. I don't think we've had any losing days when we've had good price action, right? I think our only losing days have been when we've had terrible price action. Right? So in terms of, you know, like the way I look at that, what I learned from that is when we start to see bad price action in the market, you know, from now on, I'll probably just let it go and not trade that day, right? And I know some people are probably going to be upset about that because, you know, they're like, some people might feel that, you know, I'm paying for a service, I want to trade every day, which I understand. I do understand that thought, but at the same time, a part of that service that I'm offering to you guys is that knowledge and that understanding that not every day is going to be a good trading day, right? As we've seen in the past 3 weeks, we've still only had 2 losing days overall. I know yesterday I was down $40, but I still consider that to be a break-even day. Like anything within $100, positive or negative, I consider kind of a break-even day. So in the past 3 weeks so far, we've only had 2 losing days, and those losing days have been on terrible days of price action, right? Terrible price action. Are we still having another? Yes, we're having another session. So no educational today, but we are going to have our prop firm session at 10:30. And then after that, guys, we're going to have a call about our book club, which AZ Sunshine is going to be running that book club for us. And I know a lot of you guys voted, and I think the book you guys chose, let's see, I kind of forget, was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is a great book. I've read it myself. So I don't know if any of you guys in here are going to be a part of that, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great club. You know, AZ Sunshine has put a lot of thought into it, and I think it'll be really cool. So if you guys want to stick around after our prop firm session, you know, we'll probably just run that book club right after that meeting, just kind of talking about what they're going to go over, you know, what we're going to talk about. You know, if you guys want to go, you know, order the book on Amazon or go get it from your bookstore or whatever. And we plan on starting that book club next Monday. So I hope you guys are excited. I just want to, you know, we want to add as much value to what you guys are paying for as possible, right? Which is another cool thing that we're bringing on John in the future, right? To be doing our psychology and risk management, which is going to add a ton of value to this community, right? So I want it as much value as I can add for you guys. I want to add. Right? It's not just about live trading, it's about education, it's about learning, and it's about bettering ourselves as human beings. Right? So that's my goal for this Discord community. And yeah, I want you guys to get as much value out of this as you can get. I want you to get way more than what you're paying for, right? Way more than what you're paying for. Okay, so we touched into this 5-minute here. 5-minute fair value gap order block. That's that level I was kind of looking for. Right? I said I might look for a reentry. But seeing this reaction off this 5-minute breaker block, kind of being patient. Let's see. Do you think this is a reversal after taking that London liquidity? It could be, but here's the deal. Look how we displaced our London highs on the 5-minute. Look how we displaced our London highs on the 15-minute, right? So I don't necessarily see that as being a reversal when we see strong displacement. I kind of see that as this is just that retracement move, and I do think we're going to try to keep pushing, right? So I didn't get a re-entry, but that's that re-entry level I was thinking about taking, and we're seeing that reaction. I mean, look at that bounce we're seeing from that exact level I just talked about. Right, and then I think we'll try to push through this 5-minute bearish breaker, and I think we'll try to push to yesterday's highs all the way up to here. It's looking like that's what we're trying to do, right? So I mean, this would have been a pretty solid re-entry right there. Would have been a very solid re-entry. But yeah, I just didn't want to risk any more of my profits. But let's say we did get a re-entry from there. Risk management would have been pretty good. And so far from that, right, that fair value gap, this trade has hit 89 or 80 something ticks, 81 ticks, right? That if you would have gotten that re-entry, if you guys took that re-entry that I talked about, you would have already hit 81 ticks. You could have taken profit already, moved your stop to break even, right? I didn't get in the trade, didn't really want to risk any of my profits, but these levels continue to play out, right? But again, if we do reject again off of this bearish breaker, and we start to, maybe start to break structure to the downside, this might be that reversal after sweeping London highs. We might retrace back down to, back down to a discount of our morning range, right, which is from this high to this low. And if we do our fib like that, our EQ is down here. All right, this is our EQ right there. AM range, EQ. All right, so if you guys are looking for, if you do think that reversal is coming, which it could be happening, right? Look at that bounce off the 5-minute bearish breaker. It's possible that we do try to retrace all the way back down to a discount, back down to this 15-minute order block, right? If we're going to get that reversal. So that's what I would look for if you're still trying to trade. If you're looking for that reversal, right, you look for this fair value gap, this order block as possible targets in that reversal. All right, but from there, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this session. But, let's go over this trade one more time. A little recap. All right, so we see we displace the highs very aggressively here with this candle, right? This bullish candle displaces these highs on the 5 and the 15-minute. And then we leave behind a bullish fair value gap, and we form an order block. If you guys have been listening to any of my educational sessions or how I talk about the market, remember how I always say these 5-minute and 15-minute order blocks with fair value gaps below them are such strong support levels, and I'll almost always look to take those after seeing strong displacement and we still have liquidity above to target, right? So that was that confirmation I needed. We started seeing that pump, got in, and we reaped the benefits. Pretty solid trade. Yeah, so that was my reasoning for that trade. Worked out pretty well. And now I'm going to call it. I'm going to take a break, go eat some breakfast, chill out, and get some work done. I'll let you know if I'm looking for any more setups. I'll still be looking at the market, so there might still be some setups in the future to take, but I'm not going to take anything unless it's an A+ setup and I have my risk management dialed in. All right, don't want to throw away any of my profits. All right, guys, so appreciate you all. Thanks for joining up. We'll be back for our next session in a few hours for our prop firm session, and then we'll do that book club session to end the day. And yeah, we'll call it a day and get prepared for tomorrow. All right, guys, so I'll see you in a few hours if you don't hear from me. Until that time, take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Peace.